So independent journalist Karlyn Borysenko infiltrated a socialism conference, which was aptly named the Socialism Conference. I guess it's one of the biggest conferences where socialists gather in the United States. And she went undercover. She doesn't identify as a conservative, but she's on our side. I would say she's on the right versus on the left. She's certainly not a socialist. She can describe to you her exact ideology. We agree on a lot and we disagree on some stuff, but she's a great follow on X. Highly recommend you guys follow her there. But she took a recording device with her undercover at this conference and caught the socialists at this conference admitting exactly what they want for our country, what they want for our families, what they want for our children, and how they are trying to sneak their ideology and indoctrination past us, even in states where, for example, it is not legal any longer to indoctrinate with critical race theory in schools. They have strategies and loopholes that they're exploiting to try to get around this. So I want to show you some of this footage that she captured because it's remarkable. It's also a crazy thing to do, to go to a socialism conference. So guys, follow her at karlyn.substack.com, but she's with me now. Karlyn Borysenko, thanks for coming on the show.
Hey, thanks so much for having me and discussing what is a little bit of a crazy topic, if we're honest about it.
This is a crazy topic. So before we even get into the clips, I want you to tell me how you came up with this idea and how you pulled it off. Because I would say, just to be a little stereotypical, that if you line up a bunch of people on the right, maybe conservatives, and then you line up a bunch of socialists, they look a little different, they act a little different, they talk a little different. So how did you pull off going to this conference without them discovering that you were a plant?
Yeah, I'm really glad you asked because it was actually quite an endeavor. About a year ago, I started on my YouTube channel just as a gag, this thing called Socialism Saturday, where every Saturday on my channel, we sit down and we watch real socialist content and we talk about it and we have drinks and we make fun of them. And it actually started because I realized this socialism conference was streaming their keynotes onto YouTube Live last year. And it was like, haha, guys, let's make fun of the socialists. And then we all kind of became so obsessed with it that it became a weekly endeavor. And we started learning who these real socialist activists were, and we started learning how to speak socialist, because even though it sounds like they speak English, they don't really speak English. They speak in code so that only they can understand. And after a year of watching these people once or twice a week online, I said, you know what? I want to go into the belly of the beast. I want to go to the socialism conference. I'm ready. I know how to speak socialist. I know how to dress like them. I know how to act like them. And so I decided to sign up and go. And actually, it's funny how I got away with it, because the socialists were well aware that I was streaming their content, and they didn't like it at all. Like, I was one of their public enemies. And so I signed up under a fake name several months ago. And then when it started getting closer to the conference, I said, what would happen if I signed up under my real name? Would they let me come? Would they let me listen to their content? Because I'm not disruptive or anything. I just wanted to listen. And so I signed up under my real name, but also had the fake name registration. And then 2 days after they closed online registration, they emailed me and they preemptively banned me from the conference for a code of conduct violation before I even left New Hampshire to go. And I was like, okay, well, I still have the fake name registration, so I'm still going. On my way to Chicago, I was literally sitting in the airport in Boston. I got an email from my hotel. They canceled my hotel reservation while I was on the way there. So it was like this mad dash where I had to find another hotel that was near the conference, but I did, and I was in a disguise. I had to dye my hair. I got these SJW glasses. But the key of it was, Liz, is that this conference has a mask mandate. And so I kind of had like a built-in disguise where I just dressed very non-binary, and I got past all of them.
That is so first of all, the glasses, it's the same glasses you're wearing right now, right? You got those as part of your disguise?
I actually did.
They totally fit you. I actually like them.
I actually really like them too. And I'd been planning on getting these glasses for a long time. And actually, so I got them a couple weeks before the conference. And I said, I'm just not going to wear them publicly before I go so that no one will have seen them.
So what did you do to disguise your appearance? Because if you've been streaming on YouTube and the socialists knew who you were public enemy number one, they would recognize your voice. I mean, you have a distinctive voice, I think. And they also know what your face looks like from all these up-close videos. So what did you do to disguise yourself?
Well, so I did have to wear a mask the whole time. And then so I was wearing that mask everywhere. I did not take that mask off until I got back to the hotel room, actually. And so I was like one of those people walking down the street wearing a mask. But, the glasses actually really do change my appearance. My hair was a different color. I styled it in a different way. I was wearing a mask. I wore really baggy clothes. So I really tried to make myself look like much bigger than I actually am in real life, because a lot of socialists are a lot figure. It's just the way it goes. And so I just kind of like kept to myself. I didn't really talk to anyone. I kind of just like, I came in, I sat in their sessions. I had a little tiny recording device in my pocket that's that big, and I just sat there and I listened to them.
Interesting. And were they friendly? Like, did they notice that you were someone that didn't usually come to their conference? Did they try to engage with you?
Oh. Oh, they did try to engage with me. Oh, they're very friendly. They're very nice to people who they think are other socialists, like for sure. I mean, it is actually like, like the whole like body positivity thing and just like accepting everyone, that applies to people who they think are on their side. And so they're not going to like ostracize anyone for any reason as long as they think that you have the same politics as they do.
Interesting. Interesting. Okay. So we showed one of these clips on the show last week. You released them kind of a couple a day last week for a few days in a row. We showed the one of Emily Drabinski. She's the president of the American Library Association, talking about using public schools and public libraries as sites of socialist organizing. It's like shocking to hear them say this, but at the same time, we shouldn't be surprised because this is what they want to do. We're not going to show that clip again. You guys can go back and watch the show last week because I want to get to the clip. It's called Fugitive Pedagogy. And before we play this, to give context to people so that we know what we're watching and what we're listening to, because the recording device, guys, remember, this was in her pocket. So you do have to listen closely to hear what these voices are saying. Totally worth listening to closely. But Karlyn, can you tell us what we're going to be watching in this video?
Yeah, I believe we're going to be watching a clip from Jesse Hagopian. There are actually several clips about fugitive pedagogy. So fugitive pedagogy was one of the main
we have
themes.
them both.
Oh, cool. So yeah, fugitive pedagogy was one of the main themes I heard over and over and over again at the conference. And it's basically this idea that in states where they have banned the topic of critical race theory, systemic racism, unconscious bias, of all that from public schools, what the socialists are doing is they're zooming in teachers from out of state into these classrooms, like in Florida explicitly, to teach these banned topics.
Oh, interesting. Okay, so they're teaching each other how to do this because this is obviously a loophole. They think they won't get caught. So let's take a look at this this first clip.
All right. Thank you, everybody. I'm Jesse Hagopian. I'm a teacher in Seattle, and I work with Black Lives Matter at School and the Zen Education Project and Rethinking Schools. So I've actually got to zoom in and do meetings with classrooms in Florida and with some bold teachers who invited us into the classroom in the tradition of fugitive pedagogy, and smuggling in contraband curriculum, showing the film, The Rebellious Life of Mrs. Rosa Parks, and then having us come and discuss systemic racism in a state where it's illegal.
Hi guys, it's Liz Wheeler. Don't forget to watch my show, The Liz Wheeler Show, every night at 7 p.m. on the First TV. You can download the free First TV app, or you can visit thefirsttv.com/Liz and start watching today.
Liberals and progressives want to suppress the truth and distract you from what really matters. Don't let that happen. Sign up for the new daily email that's become essential reading for true conservatives. Get the Up First newsletter. Visit thefirsttv.com and sign up today.